Hi everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about concept called arrays. The first point is in array. Arrays are a group of similar object. This is the first point. Arrays are the group of the similar object. Next point is array can be defined as contiguous memory location or continuous memory area or contiguous area in memory. Contiguous area in memory. Next point you can remember can be referred by a common name. Be referred by a common name. Each and here it consisting of a unique identifier for each element. Each element having the unique identifier. Like has a unique identifier for each element. So he called it as subscript. Subscript or index. This is the some of the point you have to remember with respect to the array concept. Arrays are nothing but it's a collection or group of the similar object and can be defined as a contiguous area in memory. Continuous area in the memory can be referred by a common name. And if you want to retrieve the element, so with the help of the subscript or an index, we can retrieve the element and has a unique identifier for each element called it as a subscript or an index. This is, you can say, the standard definition of the arrays. Next point is, why do you need to go for arrays? Why do we go for arrays? This is a very, very important. So why do we need to go for arrays? Before arrays, what exactly happens in code means, this is the before array. Suppose if I have a variable, so if I want to store three values, so I should take a three variables, right? Three variables, I should take the three variables. So here memory will be separately allocated for this variable. So what exactly the disadvantage is here? If I want to store 50 values, 50 different variable you should take. So now here variables are capable of holding only one value. One value at a time. So this is what the reason why they are introduced the concept called arrays. Variable are capable of handling only one values at a time. So if you want to store 50 values, you have to declare the 50 variables. So why they are introduced means we would want to store more than one value. You can say more than one value at a time in a single variable. in a single variable. So we have to go for the concept called arrays. So this is the reason why we need to go for the array concept. So next we can focus on advantages. Advantages of the array. So first advantage, we can say we can retrieve or sort the data efficiently. Can retrieve or sort the data efficiently. So this is the first point in advantage. And the second point is random access. Random access means if you want to retrieve any data or value located in any position, if you want to retrieve means with the help of the index, you can easily retrieve. So we can say we can get any data or value located at an index position. So if you have 100 of element, if you know the perfect index value, you can retrieve that exact element. So these are the some of the advantages of arrays. Before you consider disadvantages of array. Suppose you can say arrays are fixed in size. Are fixed in size. We're unable to increase the array size at runtime. So it does not grow also. Does not grow size during the runtime. So this is the disadvantages of the array. Now we will focus on declaration of an array. Declaration. Now, array. Declaration first, you have to remember data type, then variable, or else you can say array name, followed by you have to mention the size. Int is a data type, variable name or array name is a, followed by the size. Initialization and all I will explain through code only. So these are the points you have to remember. So what is arrays? So why we need to go for arrays? What is the advantages of array? What is the disadvantages of array? Arrays means is a collection or a group of similar objects, can be defined as a contiguous area in memory, can be referred by a common name, has unique identifier for each element called as subscript or an index. Next question is why do we need to go for arrays? If you want to store a 50 values, you have to declare the 50 variables. Length of the code also will be increases for you, and different memories allocated for the different variables. To overcome this difficulty, they are introduced the concept called array. If you want to store more than one value at a time in a single variable, so we need to go for the concept called arrays. What's the advantages? We can retrieve or sort the data efficiently by using the arrays. And if you want to get any value or the data located in any index position, you can retrieve. If you know the index position, you can retrieve any element. Disadvantages means arrays are fixed in size. It does not grow its size during the runtime of the program. Declaration. Data type and variable name are an array name followed by the size and end with a semicolon. These are the few points with respect to the arrays concept. Now we will go for an ID. We will execute everything one by one. Now first I will show you the initializations and everything. Declaration, initialization, everything I will show you. Now we'll take this is int data type, array name, followed by the size is 5. Now I am performing the initialization in the same line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Array size is 5. I'm storing the 5 elements. Now, if you want to display all the elements, I'm introducing the for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than are equal to 4. Why? Because array index begin from the 0. This is the important point you have to remember. In array, index begin from the 0. You can say this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Length is 5 only, but index begin from the 0. Now, if I want to retrieve all the elements of an array with the help of the for loop, introduce. So I0, 0 less than or equal to 4, condition true. A of 0 means 1 will be true. Let's keep on incrementing. So in the same way, A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, and A of 4. Where is the check and authenticate the variable. So we'll use slash n to print one after the another. So this is the way, this is declaration and initialization performed in a single line. Now, one more concept is there. If we don't want to declare the size, compiler automatically recognizes its size. Now, if you want to run this code is work fine. So this is your wish. So if you want to omit, so you have to perform the initialization, or else you can give the size also. No issue. Both the case, it worked fine. If you're not specifying any size, compiler internally takes the size. Next one, you can perform the initialization in different way also. Suppose now I will take int a of 5. Now index begin from 0 only. So that I can say a of 0 is equal to 10. Like this way also, you can perform the initialization, but disadvantages is length of the code will be increases for you. 1, 2, 3. I and it's printing all the values with the help of the for loop. In this way, you can perform the initialization of an array. Next one is I will take one more. Array size is 2 and performing the initialization. 2. Then F percentage D and percent of. I'm just trying to print the address. Now, so here integer hold 4 bytes. So this is the first address 44, then plus 4 means it will go for the 48. So you have 0 means definitely 1 will be stored. I'm taking the address of that one. So 44. And array of A of 1 means this 2 will be stored. I am taking the address and address is trying to print. And if you want to fetch the value, is I'm just taking the address, and if you want to fetch the value, you can like this also. First line is the address and the second line is the value. So now we'll go for the next code. Suppose I will take one more example. A of size is 2, but I'm performing the initialization for many elements. I'm just exceeding the size of an array only. But in this case, if you are compile also, you won't get any compile type error, but it will generate the warning message for you, excess elements in array initialization. You are getting the warning messages, excess element in array initialization. This is the point you should be remember. And next, one more important, A of 2, 10, 20. If you want to print the element of an array, percentage D, sometimes we can write A of 0. Sometimes we can write as 1 of A also. This is also valid. A of 0 or 1 of A. Both the code works fine and it will display the element. You can write A of 0 also, or you can say 0 of A. That is also fine, guys. It will print the values properly. Again, we will go for the one more example of array. Int I, int max. Now I'm not taking any size. I'll directly go for the initialization. 55, 45, 65, 66, 8, 78. Now, I will introduce a for loop for iterating the elements of an array. I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 5, because index begins from the 0, I plus plus. Now, after this iterating, I'm just calling a display. There is a function name. Then I'm passing marks. This is an array followed by I'm passing each and every element, a single element, to the function called display. This is user defined function name. 0, 0 less than or equal to 5, condition true. Marks of 0 means I'm passing the 55. So how to write a definition for this function? We'll write outside the main display int n. If you're passing 55 means we have to hold the value. So I should declare the integer. So now inside I will try to print in the integer value. We check this code. So we'll leave a space. We'll go for slashing. So each and every element will be displayed. First time we are passing the 55, it will go here, it will print the 55. Second time I gets incremented by 1, 1 less than or equal to 5, marks of 1 means 45. So in this way, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after a condition become false, we are coming out of the for loop. So in the same code, I will do the changes. Now I'm passing the elements of an array one by one. Now I will pass the address. If you pass the address of an array element, so if I want to retrieve it, and you should use the pointer concept there. You are passing the address. In this address, if you want to fetch the value, you should use the pointer. So if I use a pointer here now, so it will fetch the value. Suppose if I'm not use a pointers, see, address will be printed 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28. If you use a pointer, in that address, the value will be fetched. Just like this, it will display. This next concept is passing array as a argument to function. This concept we will discuss now. For that, I will write a code. Instead of passing a single element, so I can pass entire array to the function. We can pass the entire array to the function. How we can write a code for this? So we'll take a small example for this and I will demonstrate properly for you. Result. I will take the array. So I will initialize the sum of the values here. 21.4, comma, 10, comma, any value you can take, 21.6, 3, then 50, 5, then 80. These are the element I have assigned. Okay, fine. Then this is end with a semicolon. Now result is equal to, I'm just calling the function sum, and now I'm passing the array as an argument. So here num is an array. Num is an array. I'm passing array as an argument for the function called sum. After that, it has to perform the sum of all the numbers. At the end, I have to display it on the screen. So we'll take the result. Result is equal to percentage. So float I will take percentage 2f. Why? Because it will take 2 digit of position of float. Percentage 2f. Result. This is important. Instead of passing a single variable or single value, you can pass entire array as an argument to the function call. Now I have to write the definition for this. Before getting to this, I will write the function declaration also for this. Float sum. Function declaration. This is function declaration. This is function call. I'm calling the function and passing the array. I will write the definition for this. This function returns float type of value. Then float data type. I will receive that array will receive that array. Now I will take a single local variable initialize with 0, 0.0, not represent anything. I will take one more local variable I. Then I will use a for loop to iterate all the elements, and I have to sum all the elements. I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 5, plus plus. Here I'm calculating the sum. So initially 0, 0.0 is there, s is equal to s plus. Also you can write s plus number followed by the I. So after that, this function returns the final value. Returns yes. That is the reason return type should be the float. Let me check whether this code is working or not. So this the value is displayed. So now you're passing this value num, and how exactly works 0, 0 less than or equal to 5, and here is 0, 0.0 plus num of 0 means the first value. Then I gets incremented by 1, then it will add the second value, it will add the third value. Like this iteration will go. This concept is we call it as passing array as an argument to the function. You are passing this array to the function, and definition of the function I have written here. So what's the advantage? Instead of passing the single variable or a single value, you can directly pass an entire array to the function. This is the best use. I will go for the next concept called pointer arithmetic. Pointer arithmetic concept. I will demonstrate through code so that you will get the proper understanding. So int a is equal to 10, int star, ptr pointer declaration. Now ptr assigned for ampersand of a, address of a assigned for the pointer. Now with the help of the printf, %d followed by the, I will use the pointer. So till now, okay, I will execute this code. Now address will be displayed. Why? Because address of A is assigned for the pointer and just displaying the pointer. So address will be displayed on the screen. Now what will happen if I increment the pointer ptr plus plus? If I increment the pointer, what will happen? Every time a pointer is incremented, it is pointing to the immediately next location it will be point. So I will execute and show it to you. The first one is 44. If a pointer is incremented by 1 means it will immediately pointing to the next location. Suppose I will take one more. See 52. Suppose if you want to decrement, it will come back to the 48. And this is the concept of pointer arithmetic in array. You also practice well, so we'll get to know how this code works exactly. Now we will work on some of the problem statement. The first problem statement is, first you have to store the array like n, 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 n like that. First you have to store the array n. Then after that you have to enter through keyboard. You have to enter the value through keyboard. Like you can enter y, r, n, whatever. And if you entered y, this the value will be erased and new value will be placed. Suppose if I enter 4y, okay, this will be erased and new value will be print like this. Whereas if you write a combination of yes or no like this, that should be reflected. How we can write a code, how we can achieve this code. So we will write a program for this. Int I. First I will store n to the array a of 6. So for loop I is equal to 0, I less than 5. I less than 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can store easily 5. And one extra declaration for null at the end. So now I can assign a of I. Now I will assign in a single quote n. So a of 0, 0 less than 5, n will true, n will be assigned for a of 0. I gets incremented by 1, it will come for 1 less than 5, the n will be assigned for 1. Like this only, it will move. Now if you want, I will check until condition becomes false, it will go and fill the values. Percentage yes, I will take. Then I will place the array. First I'm checking in an array, all these values are stored or not. So all these values are stored. 5n is stored already in an array. Now the thing is, I have to give an input through keyboard. Now I will go for that. For this, I will introduce a for loop. I is equal to 0. I less than 5. I plus plus. I should take an input through keyboard. For that, I declared a character variable. I will take to test or printf. Anything is fine. For the character. Now we'll accept by using the character based input output function called get character. I will accept the character stored in a variable called C. And I will use the flash to clear the value stored in the input buffer. And after this, I have to store that value to the array. Character, this holds the value that will be assigned for a of I. And after this, I will print the whole array. Here what will happen if I entered 0, 0 less than 5. If I entered y means that will be get character accepted stored in a variable called C, clears the input buffer. Y will be assigned for E of 0. In the same way, I gets incremented by 1 if you enter the new character A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4. Like that it will go. Once the condition becomes false, 5 less than 5, it will come out, and whatever the value stored in the array, that will be displayed on the screen. So first here we stored n. After that, user will give the input through keyboard. According to that, the final array will be printed. First, this is the code. All n will be stored in an array. Now we are entering for this. Enter the character. Now we'll enter y. So again it will enter for the 5 times. So y. So y 4 times, 5th time. Now condition becomes false. Result array All n will be erased and all new y will be placed. Others, if you want to give a combination of y and n, you can give it like that also. Y n y n y. So in this way, this code works. You have to practice also for this code. Now we will write up another code to find the largest and smallest number. Largest and the smallest number. So int n, now 5 I, large and small. Now enter. Enter the number. First I will write a complete code, then I will give an explanation. Enter the number, then I will introduce a for loop to accept all the number I is equal to 0, I less than 5, then I plus plus with the help of scanf will accept the value to keyboard and percent of n of I. After accepting all these 5 numbers, now I have assigned large, small is equal to assigning the first element of an array. Large, small, assigning the first element of an array. Now I will introduce a for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Now here n of I greater than large, then we have to assign large is equal to n of I. Else if n of I less than small, small is equal to n of I. Don't worry, I will give an explanation. This is small logic. And after this, at the end, I will print the largest and smallest element. Smallest equal to percentage d. Same way, I will print the largest. Let me check whether this code is working fine or not. Enter the number 10, 3, 4, 7, 9. So smallest is 3 and largest is 10. So now we will trace this code properly. Enter the number 0, 0 less than 5, condition true. Now if you are entering the number, if I enter 10, it will be stored in a n of 0. Then n of 1 means 3, n of 2 means 4, n of 3 means 7, n of 4 means 9. So this 5 value that will be stored in an array called n. After storing the array, then I'm assigning largest and smallest is equal to n of 0. So here n of 0 means the first element. First element is 10. Just for tracing purpose, I have written this one. Now next is I have introduced a for loop. I is equal to 0, 0 less than 5, condition become true. I will get inside. N of I value is 0. N of 0 means I already assigned this. N of 0 means here 10 is there. 10 greater than, what is the large? 10. 10 greater than 10. Condition become false. If you want, I can write it in the comment line. 10 greater than the 10. Then it will go for the else concept. Then here is also N of 0 means 10. Small is also 10. So here 10 less than 10. So condition become false. So do I gets incremented by 1. 1 less than 5, condition true. Then n of 1 is here in the second iteration, n of 1 is 3. So here I will write 3 and largest 10. 3 greater than 10, condition false here. Then if you go for next, n of 1, 1 means here 3. 3 less than, what's the value now here? Smaller than for the 10. So here 3 less than 10. 3 less than 10, condition become true, guys. If the condition become true, now enough 1, this is assigned for the small. Now you have to remember, and small is having the updated value of 3. Small is having the updated value of 3. Large is having the value of 10, small is having the value of 3. Now again I gets incremented by 1, 0 and 2, 2 less than 5. So get inside the F, 0, 1, 2. This is what's that value? 4. 4 greater than 10. So condition is false here, right? So it will go for the next. What is here? The 4 less than, what's the value of small here? 3. 4 less than 3. Condition become false. So again, I get incremented by 1 here. Again, what's the value now? 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 less than 5. Now 3 means it is having the value of 7. So 7 greater than 10, right? Condition false. Again, come here. Here 7 less than 3. So condition false. I gets incremented by 1. Okay. Then the next here it will come. So it will come the last number 9. So 9 greater than, what is this? 10. 9 greater than 10, condition false. Okay, at the end, what's the value which is stored in the last? Remains 10 only. Now, what's the updated value of small? Updated value of is 3 only. But because this is the largest number only 10, so initially I've only assigned, so it never execute this one. Largest already is 10 in this program. The small is updated to 3 here. So in this way, this logic works. So kindly you also practice well. If you want to do alteration or if you want to write a different logic to achieve this goal, and that is also fine. Now we will write one more code for reverse string. I have entered one string that should be reverse, and how to achieve through code. Take a two arrays, str of the size is 20, then str1, str1 20, and I will take a variable int length I will take, then I, then j is initialized to 0, printf, enter the string. If I enter the string, if you want to accept, I will use a get tag which is used to accept and store the values of a string. So we'll take str, we'll use your flush, you enter the string. Now I will introduce a for loop. So now length is initialized to 0 str, the string length that is not equal to null, not equal to null. Till the end you have to traverse it. Not equal to null, then length gets incremented by 1. So this one is for loop is end with a semicolon here. So when it will be come out, when this condition is false, then only it will come out, right? So now after this I will use a printer to print the length. Here for loop is end with semicolon. So when it will be terminated, when the condition is false, then only it will be terminated. And let me execute till now. So enter the string. I will enter only ABC. So after enter, wait, I will use ABC and length is 3. Fine. So how this work means n0 string length, string str of 0. Str of 0 means a not equal to null. Immediately incremented by 1. B not equal to null. Then C not equal to null. It's get incremented. At the end, it will store the null. Null not equal to null. Condition false, we are coming out. And length value that will be displayed on the screen. Now, after this, I have to write up the next code. Again, I will introduce a for loop. Now, length gets decremented by 1. Because index start from 0, 0, 1, 2. So, length I'm just decrementing by 1. So, length greater than or equal to 0. Now I'm traversing the reverse direction. Now, this is very important assignment. This is new array. str1 is a new array. Then here j, he already is initialized with 0. J is initialized with 0. Now j plus plus. J plus plus. Then a simple assignment str, the word string, abc, the value. Now the length. Length I am just decrementing. Now after this, print the value, reverse string, percentage yes, fashion. So I will check whether this working fine or not. Then I will give an explanation. Let me ABC. Then something is displaying. I have to add one more line here. String 1 of J. I'm explicitly assigning null. Check now. Now it's working fine. One more extension here. RS means that is a reverse string. Till now I have explained length is 3. This is very, very, very important line. Now this will be decremented by 1. Length is 3 means that will be decremented by 1 means it's a 2. 2 greater than or equal to 0. True. This is for loop is also end with semicolon. When it will be terminated, condition false, then only that will be terminated. Now, string 1 of J. This is simple assignment. String length. Length is means 2 now. String of length means 2 means this is C. The C will be assigned for str of JJ is 0. For string on of 0, that will be assigned for string length. C will be assigned for str1 new array. str1 of 0, the C will be assigned. Now gets decremented by 1. Okay. Again, condition will be checked here. Condition become true. So it's decremented by 1 means again it's become 1, right? 1 greater than or equal to 0. Again, the value B will be assigned for this will be incremented by 1. Okay, its J value is 1 now. So now B will be assigned for that. Again, condition will be checked, decremented by 1 here. Again, 0 greater than or equal to 0, true. Again, the string length, this is A value assigned for the string of J. Here J is keep on incrementing. Initially it's having the value 0, then it's become 1, then it's become 2. Here length is 2 now initially, and it's become 2, 1, 0. J means here initially 0, 1, 2. Like that it will move. So in a reverse direction it will move. So J means here this is C will be placed in a 0 position, and the first position it will be placed B, and the second position it will place A. Its length means it's keep on decrementing means here in this way it is coming, and the value will be assigned. So when the condition become false, it's decremented by 1. Again, we are checking the condition. It will come for the negative, that is greater than. Condition becomes so. It initially go for the null, guys. Sorry, it's go for the null. Okay. So after that condition become false. So when the condition become false, I am explicitly assigning the value null to this J. And what is the J now value? 0, 1, 2, and the 3 position. In the 3 position, I'm assigning the null. So that is the reason it is displaying the string at the end. And small changes here. I'm assigning null to the explicitly for this. When it is decremented by 1 means this is go for the minus. Minus greater than or equal to 0, it's condition false, guys, condition false. So that is the reason I'm explicitly assigning null. So don't take for the null here. So this will go for the negative. So negative is greater than equal to 0. Condition here, condition become false. It will come out. When the condition false, it will come out. So definitely I'm explicitly assigning null to this. Then it is printing as it is. Sometimes what will happen in this code, if I comment this, sometimes may not work also. See something, some value will be displayed on the screen. That's the reason it's a good practice to use a null here. Good practice to use a null. So that will be displayed. And here when the negative encounters, then it will be come out. So this is the point. This is first for loop end with semicolon and the second for loop end with semicolon. This is the main logic here. It's keep on decrementing and here keep on incrementing. A old array is decrementing, new array is incrementing and storing the values in a reverse order. When the condition false, when it is reaches the negative, condition false, it will come out. I'm explicitly assigning null to this, then it is will be print. In this way, the reverse of the string code works. We will practice one more code. Now we will write a code for calculating the length of the string. So the same for loop will use a for loop is end with a semicolon strategy only we will use. We will achieve this code. Calculating the length of the string. Int count, character, np, input string, you can say. This is the length. I will use a pointer. We'll use printf. Enter the string. Enter the string, then scanf percentage s input string. We'll accept the string. Then after this, we will introduce a for loop. Your first thing is ptr. Then I am assigning input string to the ptr. This is the first one. Then after that, I also initialize count variable to the 0. This is the first step. Second one, star ptr, the value that is not equal to null. Star ptr not equal to null. If this condition is true, ptr gets incremented by 1. And count also gets incremented by 1. Let me finish this code. After that, we will trace it once again. I'll check the output first. When string is %d, then I will use a count. Let me check first. Enter the string bang. Yeah, fine. Now we will trace this properly. I have entered the string, and that string will be stored in the inp input string. Bangalore will be stored over here. Now, whatever the value assigned for it, then I am assigning for the pointer, character pointer. Count is initialized to 0. Now, star ptr means first it will point into the b. B not equal to null. True, right? The pointer gets incremented by 1. It is pointing to the next, and count also gets incremented by 1. Count is incrementing means 0 become 1, and pointer is pointing to a. A not equal to null. True. Again, pointer gets incremented by 1. Count is also gets incremented to next 2. Again, n not equal to null, pointer gets incremented by 1, and count is also incremented to 3. And g not equal to null. True, pointer gets incremented by 1, then it will go for the count is also incremented to 4. At the end, it will reach us the null. Now, null not equal to null. Null not equal to null means condition become false. Once the condition is false, it will come out. If it is come out, the count variable holding the value of 4, so that will be displayed on the screen. In this way, this code works. Guys, do follow me on Sukshmas for more questions and MCQ as well as the e-note. And if you are a BK participant, try to alter my code and options and post it as an MCQ on Sukshmas to get very good quality points. See you in my next session. Thank you. Take care.